what you truly feel like you are good at or just comes natural to you, I think was a comparison thing was my biggest fear, and just stepping away from it and stepping into my own role and finding my own path.
I think that's just great, Shauna. And it's been fun to watch you see that. Because like I've seen it happen in you and it's been really, really exciting to watch. So I would say for me, like when you posed that question, Lee, I was like, well, failure. Like that was like that was it for me. I had done another direct sales company and had good success, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't the right match. So, when you have that failure in your background, it's easy to focus on that. So it's been a challenge to keep my eyes forward. And I think, Shauna, what you said, like, what do I have to offer? What have I learned? What can I glean from those around me who have done it and are in this specific market, and what are they doing to be successful? But I would say that, hands down, was my biggest fear.
That's good. Okay, number 2. When did it hit you that this opportunity was big and the opportunity was kind of epic? Because I think I remember when I had that moment where I was like, holy shit, this could be a big thing. And it could be a big thing for anybody, like regardless of where they're at.
I think for me, it was when I started to succeed, or when I felt like my success wasn't in my control. Like it was just snowballing and I didn't feel in control of it. And I think that's when I realized like it's much bigger than what we see in front of us. So just when I feel like I succeeded, and then it was like I knew what was yet to come, and it was only the beginning, but I felt like I had come so far. So that's where I realized like how big it is. It's much bigger than what we can see, and just getting that first taste of what your hard work, what you did, what you got, where you got yourself to, and how like all the people ahead of you, and it's like you can totally do it. So I think that's where I realized like I took the first step, and then when I hit senior rep, it was like, oh yeah, I can do this. So just the taste of success.
I think for me, it was when we moved. So when I joined Zaya, I lived in Minnesota, and I was working my part-time job full-time, and my house was on the market, and it was just utter chaos. And my first month, I was like, oh, that's a really nice check. And I was doing all of this in my life, and I fit this in around it. And then I realized that we were moving, and I was going to need to find another part-time job. And I think it was that moment when I realized that I'm not going to have to find a part-time job. That I was like, okay. And I think that was just the tip of the iceberg for me. Over and over again, I'm reminded, the more I get to know about the company and the more that I work with all of you gals and other women who are on these incredible teams, the potential. And part of that is because we're all cheering one another on. And there's that friendly competition, you know what I mean, that drives us forward. But I know that, if push came to shove and it's a new release, I could email anybody on my team and say, hey, would you post some new releases for me? And they would.
Okay, I feel like there's so much that I could say to all that, but I'm going to refrain. So the last question, and you guys want to both answer it, and then I know you guys have some other thoughts that you can share, and then we can open it up for questions. But number 3, what was the one, and I know there's a lot, I know this is a very complicated question, but I think it's not that complicated. So if we can just simplify the idea of hitting director and knowing it's possible, what is the one most important thing that helped you hit director?
I would say leaning on your upline. I think that they've already gotten there, so you can learn so much from them, and they are your sponsor. They've gotten to where they are for a reason. So leaning on them, tell them what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to recruit somebody, whether it's like hitting director, no matter what you're trying to, if you're trying to sell $1,000, like tell your upline, like tell your team what you're trying to do, because once you tell them, they can keep you in check. When I was trying to hit director, I had like an ongoing, like I subtracted every day my sales, my team sales, and I screenshotted it. Like honestly, sometimes it was 3 times a day, but every day. And I would send it to Leah every day, where I was, where my team was, like, and I would just say like, I have this much more to go. I have this much more to go every day. If I wasn't doing that, I would have just stopped. And I can like guaranteed, if I didn't tell her that every day, I would have just stopped. Or if it was maybe like 6 o'clock and I didn't do it, then Leah was sending it to me. So like if you need to lean on them, and they are going to help get you there. It's just that support, so you don't feel like you're doing it something so huge, which feels so huge, on your own.
Shauna, I totally do that subtracting down now. I love that. And I have it up on my whiteboard over here. I would say the most important thing is consistency. And Shauna's going to talk about this. If you aren't consistent in the daily things that you choose to do, and this is however you run your business, the way I do it is going to look totally different for you. You know, there are going to be similarities, but you work it around your life and you do it consistently. If that's a half an hour in the morning, or if that's 3 hours every Wednesday, whatever that is, or if that's, you know, I'm going to block out nap time every single day. That's when I'm going to work. Being consistent. And I have to tell you right now, I've had to let some other things go as I'm focusing on this goal at the end of the month. And that's just another thing, but I'm getting sidetracked. I would say consistency is the biggest thing.
Love it. Okay. So that obviously speaks for itself. I know you guys have do you guys have some other just thoughts you want to share? Go ahead and do that. And then whenever you guys feel ready, we can just open it up for questions, and we'll probably try to hop off at like 8:27, 8:28, so people can get on the next call.
Okay. I will go quick. So I feel like there are 4 things that when I think of like how I got director, how it happened. The first one, like Ginny said, is consistency. And that's like across the board over your entire business. So I had 4 shops a month. That was like continuous for me. Something I did every month. I had 4 events booked a month. But your number might be 2. Like it doesn't have to equal what mine is. Just know what your goal is and stick to it every single month. My community group, so being very active on that. I think we all know that every time you post something, not everybody sees it. So I used to worry so much about overwhelming people, and now I know how few people are actually seeing a post. So post in there every single day, like at least once a day you should be doing something. And sometimes it's a minute and 30-second like outfit of the day or a picture, like just share anything. Instagram, wearing and sharing. Anytime you're wearing an outfit, even if you're just wearing the bra or a picture, wear and share like on your Instagram every single day that you're wearing it, or what it's doing for you. Being consistent with reaching out for recruiting, and then again, consistency with leaning on your upline and conversating to them what you're doing or what you're trying to do. So that was number 1, just all consistency. Number 2 for me is goals and writing them down. So if you're not paying attention to your numbers and you're not looking at where you are and where you need to be, you're not going to rank advance. Like I used to just think like, oh, I sell the leggings and I rank advance. Like it's not easy. There's so much that goes into it. But look at your numbers, where you are, where you need to be, and your actions are going to speak louder than words. So it's like if you're trying to hit junior rep, but you're never talking about the business opportunity to people, you're not going to get a team member. So just looking at what you need to do, writing down your goals, looking at them, and making sure that your actions are in tie with what you're trying to do. The next one is a little bit more on recruiting based, but just ask. I have 4 people right now on my team that they didn't reach out to me about the business opportunity, and they weren't strangers. Like they were best friends or a coworker from the past. But if I didn't just ask them, it wouldn't have happened. I can guarantee these people would not have asked me about it, or maybe it would have taken them a lot longer. But if you're afraid to ask, like just ask. The worst that they can say is maybe that it's not for them. These 4 people in particular that I just asked, just got the balls one day and I just did it, are now on my team. So it's just crazy. Like, what if I didn't just ask, you know? And the last thing is sharing. Share what Zai is doing for you. And when I first wrote this down, I almost felt like, oh, does this sound bad? Like, just share it, but genuinely share what it's doing for you. If this is changing your life, share that. If it's changing your financial state, share that. If you're meeting women and making friends, share it. Like, share what it's doing for you, because it's not just a business opportunity. And I think that we all know that. So share what it's doing for you, how it's helping or changing you, and that's it. So they're like the 4 main things: consistency, goals, just ask, and sharing what it's doing for you in your life.
That's really awesome. Shauna and I chatted a little bit earlier today, and we talked that about our team. So getting to director, you're not going to do it by yourself. You can't. You know, the chart shows you can't do it. So one of the things I've told my team over and over again, are we good on time? Okay, is that my goal is not their goal. When I recruit somebody, I want to know what their goals are, and I want to help them. I want to resource them with what they need to hit those goals, and I want to set them up for success. So, for example, Tiffany, one of the girls on my team, just hit director. When she started, her goal was to, I don't know if she's on here, to earn money because her son is in the Air Force and he's in Tokyo. And they wanted to plan a trip. She's a full-time nurse, but that was her goal. So that's what I asked of her. That's what I helped her do. My goals are different, but I share those goals with my team. So, but it's always my responsibility to hit my own goal. And ultimately, with hitting director, if you do these things, especially the things that Shauna really has just hit it out of the park, if you do those things, it's going to happen naturally, and you're not going to have to strive. You're going to have to work hard, but it's a team effort, and then comes the joy of doing it together as a team.
I love that. And I think it's all so accurate. And everything that they say, you guys, I mean, I think I've said it before, but to hear it from other people, I think just goes to show that it is kind of how this works, right? Like everybody can put their own spin on it, and everybody has to come from a place of knowing why they're doing it. We always can default to one thing, is that if you are aware of the situation and you're aware of how big the opportunity is, and you can remember your why, you'll be successful. But you have to remember what that is, because this stuff, like the consistency and reaching out and doing all the little things every single day, can be hard. But if you break it down and remember why you're doing it, it makes it so much easier. And like Jenny said, it just makes it so much more joyful. Like at the end of the day, you feel good about what you're doing. So thank you guys for sharing. You guys, like, these people are complete powerhouses. So look at what they're doing, and if there's things that you can duplicate, try it. Put your own spin in it, but look at what they're doing, because they are figuring it out. And this company is so young and so new that they're kind of paving the path. And I mean, everybody here is what you do today and how you're doing it is going to leave a mark on the culture of this company simply because of how young it is. So what questions do you guys have for these two? I can either unmute you or you can unmute yourself, but do you guys have any questions? I have a question. How long did it take you guys to hit director?
6 months.
I joined in August and I hit it in October.
Jenny, woo!
Whoa, baby. That's impressive.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so that's the other thing, right? It took
November.
And when did you join?
August. My goal was October and I hit it in December or in November.
Wait, so are you a director or?
I don't know.
Totally kidding. Totally kidding.
I think that too, like that should speak to everyone. Jenny and I joined the exact same month. We both joined in August and she hit hers in November and I hit mine in February. So like we can all be doing the things the exact same way. Jenny hit director, I hit director. It took me way longer than her, but it's going to happen when you're ready, when your team is ready, when it's supposed to happen. But if you're too worried about looking around at where everybody else is, and if somebody joined the same time as you, comparing yourself to them, you're so focused at looking to the left or right, like you're not looking where you should be. So that's just, that to me blows my mind when you think of the difference. We joined the same month. Jenny hit it really quick. And, you know, it took me a lot longer and that's okay. But comparing yourself to others really just like kills your, it's a killer.
It is. It's the thief of joy. And in this industry, in this setting, it also is the thief of success. So, y'all's transparency. Kimberly, can you just say it quick?
What, y'all?
Yeah, that was it. I just needed it. that's
You missed it.
Okay, so you guys, that was awesome. And honestly, this call doesn't have to be an hour. There was so much powerful information packed into that 23 minutes. I'll just leave you with, I actually had a conversation with Sam today, and what I can tell you is that there is a massive opportunity here, and this is probably kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing with the growth that has happened over the past 2 years, even over the past month, even over this month when we still had our 2 biggest days. Just keep that in mind, and if you feel like there's other people doing things fast and you feel like, or you feel pressure, just know that you're in a place that not a lot of people are going to have the opportunity to be in. And to say that you were here when all of this was happening will be worth your time and effort for sure. So Sam's call should be really good. Hop on that if you guys can. It's at 8:30. And then we do have our directors boot camp. That's going to be a larger group. That's not just this team. That's Ellie's like entire downline. So that starts April 1st and runs through the end of the month in April. And again, don't feel like if you're not close or if you're not going to hit it in April that you can't be in there. It will, and if you don't hit it, you feel like you failed, you'll fail forward because you'll still have done things and learned things that are going to help you in the future. So keep that in mind. I'm so excited for all of you guys. We have a cool, fun promo that we're going to do tomorrow through the end of the month, which we'll post later. But otherwise, if there's no questions, we can hop off and go listen to Mr. Sam Higginson. You guys good? I'll get this recording sent out to you guys, and then you can share it with your teams too.